Hello YouTube, welcome back to Super Lorcana World. It is your one-stop shop for everything Lorcana, and we are going right back into our series where we review every card in set 2 now that we know everything in the set and can make a proper evaluation, and we do it by the ink. Today we're looking at Amethyst, an ink with a lot of potential. There's a lot of combo here, a lot of control. It's great strategy, great for really intuitive decks. I'm super excited about Amethyst this set. So what do you guys think about Amethyst? Let me know in the comments. And of course, please like and please subscribe. And we will start off with Elsa Gloves Off, a 4-cost inkable 3/4 with Challenger 3. You barely play it. If you want a big Challenger, it's fine. Otherwise, no. This card's bad. Merlin, a 4-drop inkable 1/5 quest for 1. Whenever one of your other characters return to your hand from play, this gets +1 lore this turn. So this Merlin deck is a deck. It is a build-around deck. You build cards in your deck that require you to return things to your hands. You get this as much lore as possible, and then you quest it. And that is how you play the Merlin deck. And I'm happy to say there are enough cards with this. This is a viable deck. You can build the Merlin deck. I don't know if the Merlin deck itself is tier 1. I wouldn't say it is. But it is a fun deck that you can definitely build and have a good time playing. Some of the big payoffs are better, just generally speaking, in other Amethyst decks or just placed in other Amethyst decks. But yeah, the Merlin deck is a lot of fun. I recommend giving it a try. We have tried it. It's pretty cool. Nice. The Sorcerer's Spellbook, an item card that costs 3, cannot ink it, but you exert it and pay 1 to gain a lore. That's wild. This is a good card. It's nice to have a lore condition that's not tied to you having characters. There's a lot of character removal in Lorcana. There isn't that much item removal. So if you can start building up spell books, it gets pretty hairy. So I like this card a lot. We'll see play. It is good. That's all I'm going to say on that. Winnie the Pooh is unplayable. 5/5/5 for 2. Nothing here. I'm stuck. Chosen exerted character can't ready to start next turn. Very, 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 very situational card here. I don't play it. I don't think anyone really does. Merlin. Another Merlin. When you play this character, and when he leaves play, you may draw a card. It's a 4-cost uninkable 2/3 quest for 1. This card's fantastic. This card obviously combos well in your Merlin deck, because if you bounce it back to your hand and play it over and over again, you're drawing a lot of cards from it. And that's kind of the point, right? So I think it's a little bit slow if you're not playing a Merlin deck or a deck that has heavy into the bouncing. But if you are playing a Merlin deck, this card is gas. And good gas at that. Madame Mim. A 3-cost 4/3 inkable that quests for 1, but you'll never quest with it. When you play this character, banish her, or turn another chosen character to their hand. You'll see a lot of payoffs in this set that allow you to do things when they return to hand, such as the Merlin we just saw, and the Merlin that gains lore. So this is pretty good. It also has Rush, so it's a better Rafiki. The drawback, if you will, is returning something to hand, but considering you're wanting to do that, that is not a drawback at all. And not at all. Like, imagine a situation where, like, turn 1, maybe you play something, turn 2, maybe you play something. By turn 3, your low-cost card that might be better as ink now, that 1/2/2 drop you play, might be better as ink now. So you can use Madame Mim to return it to your hand, and it has Rush at 4 power, which makes it better than Rafiki. This card sees play. This card is strong. Merlin. The Squirrel. 2-drop, 2/1, that quests for 1, inkable. When you play this character and release play the top card of your deck, put it on the top or the bottom. Very, very situational card. I don't really see a huge value on it. It's like a Cauldron, an Ursula's Cauldron, kind of. It's fine. It's not necessary, though. We have a 2-drop Madame Mim. A 3/3 that quests for 1. When you play this character, banish her, return another character to the hand. Not real. What makes this card good is that it costs 2. So it's a cheap way for you to get your Merlin payoffs. So you do play it because of that, but that's the value, and that's as far as it goes. Merlin the Crab. A 3-drop inkable 3/3 that quests for 1. When you play this character with this play, chosen character is +3 Challenger this turn. Very situational card that I or my lackeys or my teammates don't really play. But I guess you could. Why not? If you want to, you want to. Okay. This card is uncommon, But let me tell you something. This card is gas. It is a 4-cost, inkable, 4/3 that quests for 1. When you play this character, when you least play, gain a lore. This card is stupid. If you're playing a Merlin deck, you're just going to town with this card. But imagine that you're not, and you're just playing it in an Amethyst deck. He gets you lore. When he dies, he gets you more lore. This is an aggressive Amethyst lore gaining card. It's very strong, and you will see it. So be prepared to fight it. Arthur. 3-cost, uninkable, 1/3 that quests for 1. When this character quests, you may return another chosen character to your hand to gain 2 lore. The combos are insane. You don't even need to play this in a Merlin deck to get like certain payoffs. You know, it's just, you may return to gain 2 lore. You can return a thing with an enter the battlefield trigger like 3-drop Maleficent to gain 2 lore and get its effects later. This card's crazy good. Definitely a card you will see in the meta 100%. And oh my. So originally when I talked about this card, I thought this card was a problem, right? Like a problem. And people were like, Mario, this is not power creep. The card is worse than Mickey Mouse. The card is not comparable to Mickey Mouse. It's its own thing. You're overreacting. After testing this card, I am not overreacting. This card is bananas. Bananas. So if you need me to remind you what this card does, this Madam Mim is a 7-cost that has evasive, quests for 4, and is a 5/7. It has better stats than Mickey already. And then its ability, when you play this character, banish her or return other chosen characters to your hand. Come on. You're telling me that returning 2 characters in your hand that have payoffs like the GOAT and the frickin' Merlin here, and what it is, even this Merlin, or things you want to return to your hand with enter the battlefield triggers, like in Ruby Amethyst, or Emerald Amethyst, or Amber Amethyst. This card is crazy. Every time it resolves, it just feels so good. So this card's really good. And it's better than Mickey Mouse, and it will see play this format. We got a 1/2/2 for 1 vanilla, whatever, it's fine. Pinocchio here is a 2-cost uninkable 1/1 that quests for 3. This is the continuation of the 1/1/1 for 2 basic rookies. This is the same kind of idea, just stepping up its game a little bit. And it's fine, it'll see play. Perplexing Signposts. A 2-cost uninkable item, banish this item, and turn chosen characters into your hand. Another good card in your Merlin strats, or just good to have in general. Like, I haven't not played it in anything that doesn't want things bounced to its hands, but like, you could return this to like return something in danger of dying to your hand. So I think it's okay, but definitely a good card in your Merlin decks. We have Gruesome and Grim, a 3-cost uninkable song. Play a character with rush 4 or less for free. They gain rush at the end of the turn, banish them. This card is okay, but I'm not playing it at all, and I don't see seeing a whole lot of play in the meta. Your good 4-cost less characters have rush already, like Rafiki's, and nothing else you want really has rush, so like, it's kind of whatever. Pinocchio. When you play this character, you may exert chosen character. It's a cheaper Elsa, kind of. It's a 2-drop, 1/1 that quests for 1. It can come in handy, pin down something, and you kill it with something else. Really tacky, not super playable, but okay. You might see it here and there. Legend of the Sword and the Stone is a 2-cost inkable song. Chosen character is Challenger 3. Garbage. Yzma, 3/3/4 for 1. Garbage. Cusco. When this character is banished, draw a card. It's a 1/2 that quests for 1 and has 2 costs. It's not as good. It's not as good. I don't really see it seeing a whole lot of play. Jiminy Cricket. For your Pinocchio build-around strategies, a 2-cost inkable 1/2 that quests for 1 with evasive. When you play it, if you have Pinocchio, draw a card. If you're playing Pinocchio.deck, you play 4 of this. If you don't play this card. Peter Pan's Shadow. 4-cost, uninkable, 2/3 that quests for 2, evasive, rush. Characters with a rush, gain evasive. The card is good. The card will see some play. It gives things like your Madam Mims and your Rafiki's and whatever, Rush, Evasive. It's fine. It's okay. Blue Fairy. After testing this card too, bananas. 2-cost, inkable, 1 with a quest for 1 with evasive. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, draw a card. This card's crazy. This card draws you a lot of cards if you time it correctly. If you play this willy-nilly, yeah, it's stupid, it won't get you value. But if you can play this and drop a few Floodborns on the same turn, you're doing really good with your life. So, this card's nuts. Very good card. Pretty crazy stuff. Pinocchio. A 5-cost uninkable 3/3 that quests for 2, shift for 3 Floodborn. When you play this character, you may turn chosen character or item with cost 3 or less in the player's hand. If you play a Pinocchio deck, you play this card. If you don't, you don't. Card's pretty mid, honestly speaking. Next up, Facilier 4/4/2 evasive 1 lore. Doesn't matter. Fairy Godmother 5 for 3/7 quest for 2. Doesn't matter. Fairy Godmother again. Shift 2. Inkable 3/4 that quest for 2. Whenever this character quests, your characters gain Challenger 3, and when this card is challenged and challenged, return this card to your hand this turn. It's like a Dr. Facilier from set 1, the one that if they die in a challenge, return in the hand. It's a reasonable card. It will see some play. It's not the most powerful legendary in the set by any means, but like it's a cool trick that will come in handy if you choose to abuse it. So yeah, it's a playable card. Don't be surprised if your opponent drops you on you. We got a 3-cost Fairy Godmother, inkable, 3/4/1. Whenever you play a character named Cinderella, you may exert chosen character. It's a build-around. Not really worth it, in my opinion. Hey! 2-cost, 2/1, quest for 1. This character is banished and challenge, return to your hand. It floats. It's fine. Not super playable, but a good card nonetheless. We have Yzma. 6-drop, shift 4, 4/4 that quest for 2. When you play this character, shuffle another chosen character into that player's deck. Player draws 2 cards. It's better on your own stuff. And that's it. It's a very situational card. I like it. It's just not going to see that much play. That's okay. Not a big deal. We have a Binding Contract. This, shout out to Villainous and the Binding Contract deck. If you know, you know. This is a 4-cost uninkable item with exert to exert one of your characters, exert chosen character. It's funny. It might see play because it's an item and you can do it every turn, but I don't really know. Seems decent, but nothing crazy. Last card is Croquet Mallet. It is a 1-cost uninkable item. Banish this item, chosen character against Rush this turn. It might come up. You might play it as a 1-of in something, but probably not. And that's it. Amethyst is a really good ink in this set. It has a lot of playable cards, and these cards that get payoffs when they leave the field are really strong. I invite you to try them. What do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comments. I will see you later. Bye!